So it's unlike lists which are accessed when elements are accessed via indicates. A dictionary is a collection which is unordered. You can which is unordered, changeable, and indexed. And Python dictionaries are written with the curly brackets, and they have keys and values. So the key, for example, like how you have a table. Let's say you have the table and columns. You have table, columns, and rows, right? So the column would be the keys, the values would be whatever you have inside the rows. So column name, you have the list of names. Column age, you have list of ages. You have column job, you have list of jobs, cities, emails, and so on. Okay. It's the same way. That's how you basically identify the dictionary. So the brand is Ford, the module is Mustang, and the year is 1964. So here the brand is the key, and the Ford is the value. The model is the key, the Mustang is the value, and so on. Okay, so you have to provide the key and the value inside the dictionaries. Yeah, yeah, Ali. Like Jason, basically, some way. Um, is it clear how to apply dictionaries in there? All right. So how can we apply this? Let's take this example and come here. So the brand is Ford, model is. And that was Mustang. Is it correct? Yep. Oh, sorry. Okay.
So, Mohammed, if you had another car that you wanted to like be included in your program, would you like create it within the same dictionary, or would you have to create a new dictionary for a new car?
Sorry, say again.
So, say for example, you know how within this dictionary we have a brand, a model, and a year. But say we had another car that was like, I don't know, a Renault, a different model, and it was a different year.
So you can have dictionaries like for every brand of the car, for example, or instead of using dictionaries, you can use lists. So a list called brands and another list called like the model the year, and then have dictionaries for every one of those. So
Okay, so for a different car, then you might create a different dictionary.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Uh, so yeah, the output would be the brand, the model, and the year of that one. Uh, in the dictionaries as well, we have different methods in there, like clear copy, form keys, get items, keys, pop items, default, update, and values. um, it's basically the same thing. Two dictionaries. You want to combine them into one. So you copy the dictionary. Um, so basically, this task in here, what's happening is you have two dictionaries. One that contains the brand and the model, and the other one contains the year and the price. Okay. So in dictionary, I don't understand your question, Ali. What's got Java to do in Python? I don't understand still.
Sorry,
I'm not
Mohammed. My question is
like
just, is this the same as like we've got object in Java,
yeah.
define object? It seems like quite like a define an object or
Quite similar, yeah. It's
okay.
quite similar.
Sorry.
Quite
Yeah,
similar, yeah.
thanks.
So yeah, in here, if you want to update the price, I believe, so combine dictionaries, update the price from 50 to 30, remove the year keeper, and output results as seen solution output. Okay, so you need to remove the year. So this dictionary is dictionary one, copy. So you copy this one, all right, and then you have you update dictionary two, and then so you update dictionary two with the dictionary one because it's already being copied in there. So that become one dictionary in here. And then you update the price for because now your dictionaries become this one, this dictionary. Um, so now you update the price in that one and then pop to delete that key and then you print it. Okay. Um, this is only as well like a way of printing like this in here. So slash n backslash n means new line if you want to try. Now it's about the decision making, and this one is yeah,
Can you go back to the previous slide?
yes.
Okay, please. That line 16, are you saying is the summation of what you've been written from 1 to 14? Is that what it means?
Sorry.
Line 16 there. Are you saying it's going to print the same thing as what we have from 1 to 14?
So basically, this is just to print it in this format, line by line.
Okay, I get. Okay,
Yes,
please.
it's
What?
the F here is present format. Okay, so you have new line called a brand. So backslash n means a new line. All right. So brand that we get the brand from that dictionary. Okay, which is Ford in this case. And then a new line model, you have it in here. That will get the model of from the dictionary. And you have a backslash in a new line for price, and that will get the dictionary the value of the price in the dictionary in there.
Please, can you give an insight of how to use this curly bracket and the square bracket?
Here, the curly brackets in here.
Yeah.
So yeah, because that's a dictionary, right? So you need to get you present the dictionary with the curly brackets in there. That's why. So you open a brackets to tell that this is a dictionary. Okay, I want to get from the dictionary called this dictionary the brand, for example, or the model or the price.
Right.
Right. Now, decision making, and this is one of the important things
Sorry,
that,
Noor, if you don't mind going back again, please.
yes,
Just explain to me from 8, 9, and 10. So 8 says this dictionary, and it says equal to dictionary 1 dot copy. So you're defining a copy here as this
okay.
dictionary.
Basically, you see here one of the requirements here is telling you. So this is one of the tasks. Tells you combine dictionaries. Both of these, they have to come one dictionary. Okay. How to do that? One of the ways is create a new variable called this dictionary. So this variable is equal to dictionary1.copy. So now I have dictionary1 copied inside this dictionary. Okay. Now I need to update this dictionary with dictionary2.
Okay, so does that mean that this dictionary? What does that if you print number 10 now, this dictionary?
Yeah, it prints
What
this.
will be
So let's take the example and see how, right? So you have dictionary1 equal to I have so the first one has the brand and the model. Dictionary 2 has the year 1964. Okay, and has the price. Price 50,000. Okay, so now the lines you are talking about equal dictionary 1 dot copy. Okay, and then this dictionary update. Dictionary 2. Okay, so now print this. So that was your question, right? What's going to print? It's going to print the actual values. So now what's happening here is I have identified the both dictionaries and then copied the dictionary 1 to the new dictionary I have it in here. And then I updated that one with the dictionary 2 to add all the values to combine them together. Okay. If I have another dictionary 3, let's say, okay, that has the color let's say red. Okay, and then I do this, it added the color to it. Does that make sense?
It's become clear to me. So this is just a way to combine the dictionaries,
Yes,
basically.
exactly. Exactly.
Thank you.
No worries. So now one of the most important parts, and you will always face it when you basically write a code, or if you have a code you want to read the code or something like that, is the decision making, or what we call it if statements. So the if, else, and else statements are used in Python for decision making. I gave you an example earlier, like if the student grade is greater or equal to 40, then print pass, for example, or assign it to pass. Okay, so if a certain condition is true, then a block of statements are executed. So if, and then you have a condition. Okay, if that condition is true, it will apply whatever you want in there after that condition. So one example on the right side of the screen here is the test expression. If it is true, then body of if. If it is false, body of else. Okay, and then it will go to the statement below if. All right. Let's see as an example. So let's say if in here x like x equal to 10, y equal to 20. If x equal 10, then print x, for example. Okay, so but let's say if I put it 9, that means this one is false. Okay, so if I'd say else, print y. I think. And yeah, sorry. And okay, so now it should print y, because this condition was false. It will go to the other part of the, so if this one is equal to 9, print x, otherwise print y. Okay, that's how if statements work. So if um, you can print, you can do other conditions, you can have different if statements inside the if statements. So if x equal to y, and if y equal to z, and so on. So you can have multiple if statements. You can end up, could be, if you write a quite large program, you can end up like in 20 if statements inside each other. That's normal. We have the elif. The elif is a keyword way of saying if the previous condition is not true, then try this condition. Okay, so you can have multiple ones instead of just if and else. Okay, the same thing here. If y is greater than y, uh, x is greater than y. If the condition is not met, it will try this condition. So if it's equal to y, then write equal to y. Okay, and then you have the else at the end. It's the same thing in here. All right, so this is just to compare the temperature and so on. Is the if statements clear somehow? So let's see. So here we want to write a program that convert degree Fahrenheit into degrees in Celsius. Takes the temperature via user input type float. If the temperature is Celsius, in Celsius is below 0, print below freezing. If it's equal to 0, then it's freezing. It is freezing, and then above freezing. Okay, so you have all these elements in here, parameters you can use. So I'll take this one to this side. Now in here, we start with the temperature. So because it wants to take an input from the user, right? So and the type of data is float. So I write input and then between brackets enter temperature in Fahrenheit. Okay, now in Celsius to compare it, it's the temperature minus 32 and then it's on the 5 divided by 9. Now I have print say format \n for new line. I have here temperature to F, that's in Fahrenheit, equal to cell under 2 F, and that's in Celsius. Okay, I'll explain to you a bit what everything here means. And so let's say it's 40. That means it's 4.44 in Celsius. Okay, so you might wonder what's the is, right? So the dot 2, that 2 digits after the dot in here. All right, you can see dot 44 Celsius, or that it's 40.00 Fahrenheit. So if I run it again, say like it's 25.87. So it will become like this minus and so on. Okay, so it takes the format. This is for the format. The F is for format. Now let's add some if statements in there. So if you see in there, it tells you that it's freezing, below freezing, and above freezing. So if the temperature in Celsius is less than 0, okay, then what I wanted to do is print I want to print the temperature, which I can take this one for. Okay, and is below freezing. Okay, now LF Celsius equal 0. So here I have less than 0. Now it's equal 0. Print print. Now what I wanted to print is the, again, this one. So she's in here, is freezing. Else, if Celsius, else there's no condition in there. Print, and I'll take this again. Is above freezing. I add in there. Let's take this one off. Okay, based on what I put in there. Okay, it will convert it, and then it will basically print based on the temperature I have. Let's say it's above, so it's 32.22, so it's above freezing, right? But what if it is 20? So it's below freezing, and so on. I think so. It is in here when it equals 0. All right, so that's how the if statements works. Now we have the, is everything clear regarding the if statements?
Hello, Mohammed. Thank you. Please, can you go back? That
Yes,
F in the print bracket, is it for the freezing or what? Is it for the Fahrenheit or what? No.
Where is the F in the, this one?
Yeah.
This is format.
Format. Okay.
Yeah, it's for format. Okay, so you're just adding the format for the thingy. You can basically take it off, it doesn't matter. It's just a format for this one. Okay, because you have 2 digits, 2 digits in there. You need to add. But there is other ways of explaining this. So you can take this one off. Okay, if you don't want to print the values. Yeah, the Ali is the whole code is already in the code is already in the slides. I upload them already. Yeah. So you can basically take these off, and then it will show you directly. Oh, this is so the temperature is below or above or something. So the format is just for the basically to format the numbers that you have in there, so you can add it to the text. So there is different ways of that. So there is easier way than this one. Is it clear to you? Is it clear, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, moving on. So we have finally the loops in Python. So the loops in Python, we have 2 types for the loops in Python. We have the for and the while loop. They are used to iterate over a sequence. like here. So item, last item reached, yes, exit the loop. If not, it will keep repeating over and over and over again until reach the last item. Then it will exit the loop. Loops can be very tricky sometimes. If you don't put a limit for them, they can basically keep going forever. Okay. So I have two examples of the for loops in here. So the example one is that the premise premise here you have 2, 3, 5, and 7. Okay, and then you for I in premise, okay, a print I, and it will print it to you 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 5, 7. The I is the present number for I in premise, okay, for everything in premise in here. Print them. Okay, so it will print them. So for I, for X in range 5, print X. So it have the range of 5 different numbers. It will print them from 0 to again. It will print the 0 because it starts from 0. All right. Imagine yourself you want to do a like simple input and output in there. So the input number is 6 and the output. So write a Python program to multiply tables from 1 to 10. Take user input as an integer. Okay. So the solution for this one would be something like this. So the user input, where you input the number. Okay, the number here, and then you add for loop in there to add all these numbers. So it will become easier for you to know the multiple like multiply two numbers from 1 to 10. So the range is 1 to 11. Do you know anyone why the range starts from 1, not from 0?
Because he finds the position, which is we talk about which, and the position starts from 0. That means
That means it will start from 0. I will have the 6.6 multiplied by 0 in here, but I don't need it, right?
Yeah.
Everything multiplied by 0 is equal to 0. So then multiply equal to the because I have the I in here, which is what represent the for loops. So represent every item. So okay, for item in the range of 1 to 11. Okay, do this. So multiply equal to, I have variable here equal to user input multiplied by I, by the item. And then print. This is format. User input multiplied by the item equal to the results in here. Let's see how this will behave as a code. So if I go here, I go user input equal to integer and input a number and then for I in range 1 1 to 11. Let's put them from 0 to 11. Multiply equal user input multiplied by I. Okay, and then I want to print. I want to print the user input. Okay. X. I want to print I equal the results in there. So let's see how this will behave. Let's say 1 5. So it will give me all the answers for the 5. Oh, by the way, you can put it like to 101. Okay, it will gives you that. It's going to take quite long. Because now the while loop is larger. Okay, so it might take a while to apply this. But yeah, this is how basically while loop works. So you see here starts from 1 ends 100 and so on. So that's how basically how it works. That's the for loop. Yes.
You see, because you put that F, that's why the result is in a table, is in a each is in a line, like 3 multiplied by x is equal to everything is on its own line. It's not like
Yeah, I've put it to 101. So to see that I can change the range in there. It's not only 10.
you know
Right.
what I'm saying is
So
no, like 3 times 42 is on a line on its own. It's not joined together. Is it because of that F in front of the print line 5?
that was, hold on. Where?
No, I'm talking about line 5. Go to line 5 on that print. You still refer to the
That's line 5.
Yeah, the
These
F.
two. Yeah, these two.
You see, because of that F, that our
These two
result.
are the conditions.
I'm talking
So
about
basically for items. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about these, why they are on the same line.
why every result is on different line that is not together. Is it because of that F?
Because that's how the structure of um, uh, of Python. So if I do this now, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work because how can I understand that this is for the for loop if it is on the same level of the for loop? So it has to be on a different level of the for loop. Then it will understand, oh, I know what you mean now.
So Mohammed, if you know the F after the print within the brackets, so it says print brackets, then the F.
Yes.
If you remove the F, would the output still look the same?
No, it's gonna be different. It's gonna put the output like this. So it works. It's gonna put the output like this one. It's not gonna print like whatever I do. It's not gonna print anything, but it will print this one. If it will print, it's not going. It will keep going. It will do this 10 times. So to print this, but when I add the F, it takes the format as a string, but it's coming from here. So from here, the curly brackets here, I assign the variables I need to use. So I assign the user input, which I enter the tree. Okay, and then write the items one by one. and then the multiplication is the formula that I provided in here. So if I do this, it will print the division, for example. Okay, it will divide it. So the F is just to provide a format on how you want this to be displayed. There's nothing special, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, this is supposed to be like this. Okay, so yeah.
Hi Noor. So this is
Hi.
basically how a loop works. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, this is how loop works.
So is the loop there because we've set a range from 1 to 11, for example? Is that what makes it a loop?
Yeah,
Or
so it works. So it works. Yeah. So this one, if you remember in here, you see this one. Okay. So it will start the items in here. So for example, 1 multiplied by 1. Is it done yet? No, we didn't reach the end of the range. Okay, work again. 2 multiplied by 1. Okay, 3 multiplied by 1. Until it reached the last part of the range. Okay, did we reach? And then it will go again. Did we reach the last item? Yes. Okay, then now exit. It's a loop because it keeps going till it reach the last part of the items based on what you provided in there. So if I put like 20 in the okay, it will go 20 times and then it will exit.
okay. You gave an example. If you don't set it the limits, then it will go on forever. So in this scenario, what is it that would be missing for it to go forever? Is it the range? If we don't set the range properly, it will go on forever.
It's basically not in this way because this way you have to set it if you don't set up the range. So it's you have an I in there. So you have to have items in range or like for X and Y or something like that. But if you do this, I highly doubt it that will work. Yeah, it's not going to work. So yeah, in some scenarios where you need to set up the range so it doesn't keep going forever, you know.
I understand.
All right, so now we have the other part, the other way of the other example of while loop, of the loops. So the while loop is in Python is used to iterate, okay, over a block of code as long as the test expression condition is true. What that means is, so if the count, let's say count is equal to 0, and that's in while loop is the one where it's basically that's where it can go off like forever, you know. Let's say because in here, so count equal 0, for example, while count less than 5, print count. Now, if I don't put our count plus 1 equal 1, no, equal 1. Now, it will print something like this, okay? Let's try without this. I don't know. See, this is the one. It keeps printing. It's not stopping. It will keep printing count. It's not gonna stop at all until I stop it. So this is one of the examples that I have in there. Okay, but what it does here. So why count is less than 5. Okay, keep printing count and then add 1 to every time you run it. So now 0 starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's when it reaches 5, then the condition is false, right? Then when it will exit basically the for loop. You see here, so as long as it's true, it will keep going. Keep going. Once it gets false, for in our example, it reached 5, it will exit the for loop, the while loop. Now another example in here. So this is one way you can have if statements inside the loop. How? So let's say if I say while true, as it is true. Okay, what I need you to do is to print count equals 0. I think, yeah. So I want you to print the count, okay, and then +1. Now the other part is if count is equal, is less than or greater than or equal to 5, then or equal to 5, then it will break. Okay. Now it should print all of them the same way. So you can have either this or this way. It's not gonna print anything because it starts from 0. Okay, so if it is true, then print count while true, as long as it is true, print count and add 1 to it. If count is less than or equal to 5, then break the code, or exit the code. Okay, so this is another example. You can have a statement inside the while loop, doesn't matter. It's okay, it's absolutely fine. All right. So, this is an example of a sample input and output, like a Python program to create multiplication table from 1 to 10. So take menu via user, take menu option via user, input as the type integer, take multiplication value as the user input as a type integer as well. Loop over program until the loop is broken. Okay. So here what it does, this is just a text in here. So it will take the input for you to option either 1 or 2. So 1, you see here, so it choose option. If the option is equal to 1, it will run this part of the code. Okay, this part of the code will be run. Will be run if the option you entered is equal to 1. If the option is equal, okay, which is in this case, it will print a it will tell you goodbye. Otherwise, 5, it will tell you that a loop ended. Okay, try this one and see how it will behave basically in code. So while true, print as long as it's true. Okay, print menu. Okay, and then \n for new line. And then multiplication table and or \n exit 2. Sorry. Okay. So I have the multiplication table option. That's option 1. That's option 1. And that's option 2. Right? Now, what I want to do is input underscore option equal to integer, right? Because I want to take it as integer. So it takes input and then choose option. Now it will take an option for me. So now I want to do if input option equal to 1. What I want you to do, if it is equal to 1, I want the user to input number. Okay, and that number will be integer. And then input here, just input a number. Then what I wanted to do is for I in range 1 to 11, multiplication equal input number multiplied by I, and then print and then I think it's this one. Just easier for me. Input number multiplied by I, and then it will give me the results of the multiplication in there. Else if input operation equal to 2, then print goodbye. Okay, and then it will break. That's what we wanted to do. Else for any other input that the user might enter by mistake or anything, invalid input. All right, and then it will print. That's outside the loop, because now I'm on the same side of the loop. That means I'm outside the loop. Okay, so if I run this one, hopefully I don't have any errors. So it gives me two options. Which one do you want, this one or that one? I'm just trying to. Okay, so now I have two options in here. Which one I want? If I want, the second option, it will print goodbye, and the loop will end. Okay. Now, if I choose the first option, it will tell me to input a number. Now, if I put any number, it will run the other thing. It will keep going until I say the option exit. Okay. It will, as long as I want, it's going. And then if I choose the number 2, it will tell me goodbye, loop ended. Okay. Is it clear? Do you understand this piece of code?
Hello.
Yes.
After I printed for the table 3, I can't see why I put loop ended. Is it not supposed to print it?
So here, you mean like when you choose 1 and then 1, let's say.
Yeah.
Now 2. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see now.
Yeah, so it prints goodbye because it's option 2. Prints goodbye, the loop ended. This one is not related to the loop. It just prints the loop ended once this one finish. So once the while loop is done, it will print the loop ended in there.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you rerun the program again? Let me see.
Pardon?
Can you run the program again? I want to see.
You want to run the program?
Yeah. You want to rerun the code, yeah. When we have option 1 and maybe choose another number.
Okay, you want option 1, and then it will tell you to input a number.
Yeah.
To do the multiplication. And then option 2. If you choose 1 again, it will run again. Okay, and give it a different number. It will give me a different number.
Okay, but why is
Once
it
I
not
print
printing
2.
that last line? Print loop ended. Why is it not? Is it only when we choose option 2?
There it is.
Yeah.
Loop ended, there it is.
Before you choose option 2, you didn't print it. That's what I'm saying.
No. The thing is, when I choose option 2 in here, it will print goodbye to me. That's what it should to print. These, the print and the while loop, are on the same level. This is the print, this code, this line of code or print is outside the loop, related to the loop. That's the loop. That's one part of the code, and this is the other part. So once I print, choose option 2, okay, it exits the loop, it prints, and then it exits the loop. Okay, so now let's say if I didn't choose 1 or 2, okay, let's add some wrong value. Let's add 4, for example, option 4. I want to run option 4 in there. And let's wait for this one to connect. Okay, let's see here. I have two options, 1 or 2, right? So now, if I print option 5, it will tell me invalid input. Input something valid. Okay. 7, it will keep going till I input something else. If I put 2, okay, goodbye, loop ended.
Okay.
Okay, take this one off. It's not gonna affect the code at all. It's just a piece of code that goodbye. Is it clear?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that was it for today. We covered everything about Python that I was preparing, so that's good. I've already uploaded the class material for on Teams. You guys feel free to go and check it out. I'll provide you with some examples as well, quizzes and things like that for Python, and also I will for Wednesday. Well, before Wednesday, I'll make sure that I'll bring you some quizzes for the Microsoft Excel, so you can practice for that one as well.